We are back with the laid out layout. No, no, laid back layout. I just thought this was fun. And my closet is open. I looked over to the side and realized I have a full box of eyeshadow palettes just sitting there. That box, I think I put it together like October of last year, and I have not revisited the box. So I thought, why not declutter what's in there? And here's the thing, I'm not gonna say why not have some fun. I don't think this is gonna be fun. I don't. You guys know how I am with eyeshadows. I feel like this is going to hurt. But I also feel like it needs to be done. It's just sitting there and you guys don't even want to see. Okay, I'll give you a little sneak peek of the closet, but please, please keep your judgment to yourself. If you're interested in this and you didn't see yesterday's video, go check it out. I've got Giorgio Armani on this cheek. I've got Milk Makeup Jelly Tint on this one and on the lips. And I feel inspired. Okay, let me stop dragging it on. That closet is a hot mess express. And those bins, yeah, those bins are just stacked one on top of the other, but that's where I have, oh, let me let it go. That's where I have all the product that I tend to give away. Like everything that's brand new, I separate it. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to make the mistake of opening it. So I keep everything there. The moment that I know this is for a giveaway, I will grab it and I'll add it to the bin. And then I go shopping in my closet. Technically, I just start taking things out and popping it in giveaway boxes. When I do giveaways, that's where I go shopping. Anyway, here I go stalling. Because I got to get the box out. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I found some glasses and I thought maybe if I put them on, I'll look like I mean business, you know? But this here is just, it's too much. It's too much. All right, so you guys know I do a lot of Temu hauls. And this was one of the biggest boxes I got. So I stuffed it with all the eyeshadow palettes that I figured I haven't visited. Maybe I don't need. So we're going to go through this and declutter. I'm not sure if it's going to be a lot that I need to get rid of, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. So I'm just going to grab at random, okay? Here is a palette that I got from Temu. I recall it being nice. Obviously, it's not going to be Urban Decay status, but I remember it being nice. I haven't revisited her. I feel horrible I love eyeshadows. So I feel really horrible getting rid of stuff. But with every new year and every new month, we have new product coming in. There's no sense of keeping it there when I can declutter. And for anyone that's going to ask me, well, why throw it out? Listen, I don't throw everything out. I understand that there are locations that you can donate. I've called my area everywhere that I could. Salvation Army, they won't take anything that's used. That's just what it is. I don't know why. Where I was from in Jersey, they would take anything and everything. In this area here in Florida, I'm South Florida, but north up. They're very picky about that stuff. So they said, we only want brand new things. But I don't throw everything out. Anything that I know for a fact that is expired, I will go ahead and chuck because it's expired, duh. And then anything that is not expired, it's still good. I will set to the side, like put in a pile and share with family members. That's just what I do. I have a whole pile here of stuff that I'm going to share with family members that I've opened in the past maybe 3 months. And it's just like I haven't reused it. It was okay. It wasn't life-changing, but it might change someone else's life, you know? So when I say declutter, it just means it won't be part of my collection anymore. I'm going to declutter. I need to set up a pile somewhere. I'm going to declutter this palette. The Rachel Couture palette. This one was nice, but it wasn't life-changing. This was part of the AIA Beauty Bundle. We are going to declutter her. By the way, that was so weird, right? Like how the AIA Beauty Bundle up and disappeared out of nowhere. Like what happened to them? Like let's really talk about it. I've reached out to my contact who was my contact back then. And things were getting a little funny, I remember at the time. And she was like, yeah, I don't work there anymore. So here's your new contact. And she told me, yeah, things are changing. I don't really know what's going on. Okay, great, whatever. She doesn't work there anymore. So I reached out to the new contact who was very nice. And we were in contact for a little bit. And then next thing you know, they disappeared. It was almost like they got abducted by aliens or something. I reached out. I asked questions like, what's going to happen with subscribers' financial and billing information? Like, what are you guys doing with that? Like, what's going on? No response. It's almost like they up and left Earth. It's weird. The Misho Beauty Blush palette. It was cute. It was cute. But I have so many. There's one palette in particular that I'm skipping. because I'm like talking to you guys, but I'm debating, do I want to keep her? Do I want to get rid of her? Like, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? This one here is A Secret Garden by Eloise. This one was so pretty, but it's in the box and I haven't used her. And I know so many people that could benefit from this one because it would work with their complexion. We have a Rasha B Cosmetics. This is a duochrome. So pretty. I think, let me put her here just in case. I'll revisit. ColourPop. This one was actually really nice because you're able to remove these pans. I think I'm going to keep this one. I haven't had it for too long. Okay, compromise. I'll get rid of Rasha B because I have a lot of duochromes that are new. They're there and they work. And I'll keep these. These are more like pressed glitters. Hold on. So we're getting rid of Rasha B, but this is why. Look how pretty. And these are like your pressed glitters. And I don't have like too many of these. At least in palettes, I don't. Oh, okay. I think I'm getting rid of her. It's a beautiful palette. Love, love, love this gray and the purple. Like, love it. I think it's time to let her go, though. Here's a palette I'm going to get rid of. I didn't want to. I feel like it's a collector's item. It is such a nice palette, but I think because it launched a few years ago, it's been in storage. I think it's time I let her go. And it's so bulky. Like, it is kind of like a collector's item. So I'm going to be real honest. I'm going to put it in the declutter pile, but it's very possible I take it out and you'll see it again in the future in the box. I'm trying to be brave here, guys. I'm trying to be brave. This is another Temu palette. It was nice, but I know it's not Huda Beauty's formula. I haven't had this for too long, but again, it's in the box. I haven't really revisited her. So I'm going to set her to the side. I know two people. I'm going to set it aside for them and see who wants it because I know two people who would love her. This is the Sauce Box Cosmetics, the Moon palette. Very nice palette. I liked the cool tones for sure. Very cool toned. I wasn't in love with this here. Like these two, I think they should have done something different with it. But, and then the black isn't even the blackest. It's like a cool tone black. It's like a charcoal. So that's going to go. I'm already sweating. The fan and AC is on. It's not, I'm just... doing things that make me uncomfortable make me sweat. This is the Lawless palette, the One Baby. Beautiful palette, great colors. I know they look kind of dull because they're very cool tone, but they're not. So whoever gets this is going to love it. And then we have the Violet Voss, who has amazing formulas. This blush quad here. Very nice shades. We're gonna get rid of her. Melt Cosmetics. I feel like I got this in a mystery box. Maybe, or maybe in a beauty box. I'm not 100% sure. It's a really nice palette, but it's not practical for me to have out and actually use. This is one of those things like once in a blue I would visit, and this blue was like a year ago. So I'm gonna share this with somebody else. The shimmer is stunning. This brown is nice. The reds are fire for sure, but it's just such a bright and bold palette, you know. This Virtual palette by Gourmand Girls. Very pretty, amazing pops of color. But I did, okay, so I need you guys to understand that because of what I do. I have so many palettes with very similar color stories or similar everythings, right? And so this bookshelf here is literally all my eyeshadow palettes that I am rotating and using stuff that I gravitate towards a lot. All of my Ofra palettes are there because I use them more often than not. But I also have palettes with pops of colors, with the blues, with the greens, with the everything's on there. Which is why these were kind of like, oh, I can just put them away because I quite literally did a whole weekend of opening palettes, comparing and saying which one would I rather keep out. So this is not to say that one is better than the other, or it's well, this is a crappy formula, or it's cheaper. It's not about that. It's about my personal preference. And so that's why I keep what I keep here. So again, I don't want to keep these if I can share them with people. So I try to declutter every few months and share with people. This is a Tres Luce quad. It's a highlighter quad. Very pretty. This Space Blue palette I thought was stunning. So you can use it as a blush, right? Like certain shades. And then other ones like these here, you can use as highlights. But then eyeshadows, aren't they pretty? Like, I think they're really, really pretty. And if I'm honest, I feel like my mother-in-law would love this palette because although she would not do the reds, she would do the pink, the bronzes, and the blue. We've got some more Rasha B Cosmetics. That one's pretty. That one's pretty. I'm not gonna get rid of all my Rasha bees. I think I might keep at least one. I remember there was a thing with this Gold Crusher palette. I think this blue is freaking, it's like a purple blue. It's fantastic. Okay, I'm gonna set this one to the side. I might just keep this one. This is what are you? This is a Chaotic Cosmetics. I ended up buying this myself. I feel like I'm gonna keep her because you can wet these liners. They're water activated and create your own liner. I have clearly used pretty much every single shade in here and it works. Okay, I'm keeping that. Here we have another Rasha B Cosmetics palette. It's all green. She's gonna go. Gourmand Girls. This palette was so nice. I'm not ready to let her go. I feel like I fell in love with this half right here. Okay, we're keeping her. This is a Temu palette. It's supposed to be a dupe for the Natasha Denona, except I have the actual Natasha Denona palette, so I'm gonna let her go. ColourPop's collab with Raw Beauty Christy. This one was so nice, and I feel like what pulled me into getting this palette, and I fought for the palette because I couldn't get the entire collab, like the bundle, the PR bundle. So I ended up just snagging the palette and a few lippies and stuff. This here is what I gravitated towards, and the fact that they're like mattes and super pretty. You know what? She's gonna go. She's gonna go. She's gonna go. Because I feel like I bought this 2 to 3 years ago, at the very least. Here we have the Beach Please by Rasha B. And this one was also really nice. I think the ones that stand out to me are this 4 right here. Very nice palette, but I already have stuff with pops of colors like this and this green. I don't feel like I would actually use. Hocus Pocus. I got the oh no, never mind. I thought it broke. That was Cam. That was Cam. The palette is cute. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I have very similar colors. I think I'm gonna keep it because these two here are to die for. This Wonder Beauty palette was really nice because it's like a face palette, but you can also go ahead and use it on the eyes. But I feel like I'm more complex than this. Like, this is very simple, and I'm like, where's the deeper shade? I want to be able to smoke something out on the eyes, and it's not doing it for me, even though it is very everyday, very pretty. So I'll share this with someone. And that's the thing with reviews. Like, when you do reviews and unboxings and stuff like that, a lot of times most of the review is going to be based on first impression, the packaging, the color story, and how the formula feels in the moment. That's why I like to follow up and do like a full-on tutorial, really try the product, let you know, well, you know, the formulas are not uniform. Some work better than others, or it's not what I expected, because the reality is a first impression is exactly that, a first impression. Then you really have to try the product to see if you're actually gonna love it. This is a Nabla Quad all shimmers. I got this out of a I want to say it was like a Trend Mood box. We're keeping her. Profusion, great formula. I feel like this is one of their originals though. Their formulas have evolved. This was a really nice palette, but I'm gonna let it go. It's all matte though. ColourPop's Glow Getter. Oh, this is nicer than I remember it being. Okay, she stays. I think I'm doing a lot better than I thought I would. I'm just trying not to think about it, so I'm acting like real cool, like I don't care when I do. This is the Lorella Scandal palette, and I kept her because you get a lot of grays, a lot of cool tones, and it's... Okay, I'm keeping her. I was just giving myself, like, you know, props, but for what? This one is one that is so big and has so much going on, and it's so pretty. But I think I'm gonna let her go. This one's from Temu. She's gonna look like that. I remember fighting for this palette. It kept selling out. And I think I'm gonna get rid of it now. I feel like I'm keeping this one just because I already know what this is. This is supposed to be a dupe for like a ColourPop palette. And look, I mean, this is my world. I love a good cool tone. Maybe I love color, don't get me wrong, I love color, but there's something about a really good cool tone, and I think I want to keep this one too. This is by Beffelin. I worked with them. Their Spanish palette, look how pretty. These are magnetized so you can change up the color story, but do you see what I'm saying? Like, I have so many with, oh, look at that, so many pops of color. So I think I'm keeping that one. I used to have the original Naked Smoky. It's similar, but it's not 100% spot on. It's a great dupe though. I think this was like $6 or $7. So if you're on the market to try to get to these cool tones, which I already have in the Born This Way palette, so I think I'm gonna skip on. I normally wouldn't go for the shimmers because I'm all into that cool tone life. I'm going to share this with somebody, but just in case, just know Temu does have really good dupes. This is an Okalan palette. Also a dupe for Huda Beauty. I don't remember if I loved her or not. I also found this one because they were trying to dupe Huda's like formula. It's not the same. I get where they were trying to go with it, but after really like digging my finger into it and stuff, it's not the same. Moira Daydreams palette. So pretty, but I'm going to keep the Bethlehem one. So, and the formula is basically the same. At least it feels the same. Okalan Pinky Rose. And do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's pretty. They performed well, but I don't need it in my collection. And once again, they tried to do the same thing that Huda does, and that one did not necessarily pan out either. This lash step is staying because this baby is like $3 or was $3.50 over at freaking Ipsy. This palette performed beautifully. Now this here is by Florasis, and I have to be really careful because it's broken. Very, very pretty. I'm gonna set this to the side because I think I want to keep her. And this one's also by Florasis. The packaging is everything, isn't it? And as you guys can see, Cam got into it. She smudged at least 2 of these shades. I'm keeping this one too. And then I have some Aether Beauties, and I feel horrible, but I think I'm gonna let them go. Remember how pretty this was? So, and it still is. It's very pretty. I just don't necessarily grab these or hadn't grabbed them in a while. Thing about Aether Beauty is this. They went out of business. I don't know where I'm starting to see that they are relaunching certain product, and I don't understand why. Like, they were selling a lot of their product for like super duper. This palette, I fell in love with it. Some of the product, they were selling it for like super duper cheap, and I was loving the formula, and I was like doing tutorials and sharing them with you guys. But then a few of you guys were saying they're not performing on me the same way that they do on you, and I'm using literally the primer technique, and I bought the same brushes, and it's still not giving what it's giving you. And in my brain, maybe the formulas were inconsistent, which is unfair. And then the last palette, and I'm never getting rid of her, is going to be the BoxyCharm. This is like the last thing, like last OG thing we have. And I am not decluttering her. Not a lot of people have this. It doesn't smell bad yet. It doesn't smell bad yet, but I feel like this is like a collector's item that I will never get rid of. There are like Boxy Preview is on here. There are so many pages that are no longer active. People have moved on. They're doing something else. They've revamped their pages, or, you know, are doing something else, or just shut down social media as a whole. And I just feel like this is part of history, you guys, you know, it really is. And I remember how many people were upset that my name was not on here, but the names on here were specific to Instagram accounts and Facebook pages. Even then, I was a content creator, a YouTuber. So YouTubers weren't on here unless they had both. And I wasn't really doing Instagram. But anyway, I could never get rid of her. Like, you know, I'm wondering if it's any good. Maybe I should. Let me know in the comments if you think I should revisit her and play around with the palette, pop it on the eye and see if it still performs. And I don't know. Don't you think it would be fun if we revisit this palette? I think we did fairly well in today's declutter. If I'm honest, there's a pile on the floor. I don't even want to see how big it is. I'm just going to take a picture for the background part of my thumbnail. But yeah, I think I managed to get through this fairly quickly. Obviously, I want to hear your feedback. Do you think I'm crazy that I'm getting rid of a lot of makeup? But if you guys were to see the piles of stuff that I have in bins that I need to sort, therefore I need to make space for, girl. I hope you've interacted with the video, either hitting the like button or the comment or both as we went along. I am going to be reading the comments, so make sure you leave one below. And of course, we need to say hello and thank you to our channel members, the G Squad. This amazing group of people have joined channel memberships and are supporting the channel at a higher level, unlocking exclusive perks. So if you're ever interested in joining channel memberships, all you need to do is hit the join button below and you are good to go. Now, YouTube is going to recommend your next video here based on your preferences. I will go ahead and recommend additional beauty content on the other side. I think you're going to enjoy, so I hope you consider checking it out, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye, guys.